Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our citizens. We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again. Well, I think it's a shame that it's shut down because we have the greatest economy, as you were saying before. We have the greatest economy in the world right now, by far, the United States. We have almost 18, now it was 17, now it's $18 trillion being poured into our country, and it's no time for shutdowns. I don't think it's affecting what we're doing, but it's too bad for a lot of people. We have a lot of good people that aren't working right now that should be, and it's because the Democrats want to try and renegotiate a deal that they had negotiated. They want $1.5 trillion given to illegal immigrants who came into the country, and it's going to hurt the health care of citizens of our country that have been paying into it, that have been working hard for it, that really deserve it. So we're never going to do that. It's not going to happen. And I will tell you, there are a lot of good Democrats that really want to make a deal. And I think all we need is 5 Democrats because we have a great support on the Republican side. So I think we need 5 Democrats, and there are a lot of them that want to make a deal. So I think at some point, common sense will prevail.
I found this really funny. Check out what Joe Rogan just said on Trump after he leaves office.
What Donald Trump should do is, when he leaves the office, run for governor of California. And just take over California and fix it. It would be hilarious if he did. It would be one of the funniest things of all time if an 82-year-old man steps into the office of governor of California. We're going to fix everything. You've got a problem with water. I know how to get the water. It would be fucking hilarious.
Fix California. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Whoa, a man with blue hair in New York City is going viral. I wonder why. I think tons of people need to hear this. Make sure you share this video if you haven't already. Oh boy.
They're saying they're protesting kings, but they're the ones trying to overturn the will of the voters. Think about that. It kept happening over and over. Security guard of our building, one neighbor, walking a dog. And I was just like, why would people want to go to that? The protesters call Trump authoritarian, but he's the one implementing the policies he was elected on. That's not tyranny. That's representative government. I get that you might not like what his agenda is, but it is literally what he ran on. And he won the popular vote. I think to try and remove that leader, that's the anti-democratic move. And I just support the president. I'm not saying I'm anti-protest ever, but it was very group-thinky. I didn't like the energy out there. So many people kept asking me, hey, did you go to the rally earlier? No. I realized that here in New York City, my opinion is unpopular. It was the cool thing to do here in my neighborhood, Chelsea. But I guess I'm a dork. They've convinced themselves they're standing up to power, when in reality, they're trying to undo a democratic process they just don't like the outcome of. Even if he's not for every policy that I would be for domestically, he's for sure every policy that I'm for foreign policy-wise. And I just feel that he's making the world safer with what he's doing in the Middle East. And domestically, I don't support mobs of left-wing people trying to say that Western civilization is bad and that our way of life is bad. I think our way of life is good. It's always shocking to me that I really align now with the conservative viewpoint, but it's like, I do. The transition is complete. So when people ask me, why didn't you go? I just skip the debate, because how do you explain that demanding the removal of an elected leader isn't the defense of democracy? It's the opposite. I don't want to get into it with them. I just kept it to myself.
You see, this is what it's coming to. This was honestly a great take I've seen on the No Kings protest towards the left, calling out the left, and even a guy being a former lefty, now leaning more conservative. And we're seeing this a lot in mass, actually, of so many people leaning more conservative now, and leaving and running away from the Democrat Party. Hey, all we can do is show you that was amazing. And again, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, share. More people need to see that. Yes, indeed. Oh boy, that was a great take. And here's another great take I think you guys should hear as well.
I'm confused. I thought he hated immigrants, so why did he marry one? And why did he pick a running mate who also married one, who is also non-white? And I thought he hated women, but why did he give the first ever woman the chief of staff title in the history of the United States and also give women top positions in his administration? I thought he was supposed to start World War III, not stop 8 wars in 9 months. I thought we were under a dictatorship, so why is everyone free to say whatever they want and protest whatever they want? Meanwhile, the people that they voted for, the last administration, were censoring people, calling social media companies to censor people who they didn't agree with. How is democracy at risk when the president was voted democratically and won fairly, the electoral vote, the popular vote, and won all the swing states? Are you questioning the election results? Are you a conspiracy theorist now? You were saying to free Palestine every day the past 2 years, and now that it has been freed, you're now waving around the American flag, but I thought that was right-wing extremism. You're suddenly for the First Amendment, but you publicly celebrated someone getting assassinated for their right to the First Amendment.
But yeah, you just can't make it up, man. But we're going to get into a couple more things. Trump stuns America by saying any money he gets from lawsuits will be donating to charity. He says, I gave up my salary. I didn't take it in the first 4 years. Not taking it these 4 years. And it says, love President Trump. Check this out.
I get no salary. I gave up my salary. It's a good salary. Not as much as these guys make, but that's okay. It's a lot of money. And I don't, as you know, I didn't take it in the first 4 years. I'm not taking it in these 4 years either. But as far as all of the litigation and everything that's going to go, yeah, they probably owe me a lot of money. But if I get money from our country, I'll do something nice with it, like give it to charity or give it to the White House where we restore the White House. And we're doing a great job in the White House. As you know, the ballroom is under.
God bless President Trump, man. Y'all want to say, hey, the Mocha Boy was in his place. Again, he's well trained. He literally sit in his place when I tell him to while I record, and he won't move. But he got a little bored, I guess, and now he's over here messing with me. Check him out, y'all. He got a haircut. Mocha Boy. Mocha Leroy boy. My Mocha Leroy boy. He just a good dog. Okay, place. Go back. Place. But y'all know I love letting y'all into my life and being very transparent, man. But Pete Hegseth, it was amazing seeing Pete Hegseth yesterday into a fighter jet. He was in a fighter jet. That was pretty awesome. But yesterday, at the direction of President Trump, the Department of War conducted another strike on a vessel being operated by a designated terrorist organization and conducted narco trafficking in the Eastern Pacific. They are not effing around. Another boat has been struck. They say if y'all want to stop seeing boats being blown up, stop sending drugs to America. Oh boy. And once again, all they do is lie. Hakeem Jeffries coming out again. I tell you, he says Trump is demolishing the east wing of the White House for a ballroom where he will be celebrated like a king. He's going to rob taxpayer dollars of $230 million. I tell you, all they do is lie. We aren't paying one penny.
Donald Trump is once again preparing to fly out of the country. The east wing of the White House is being demolished so that Donald Trump can construct a ballroom where he will be celebrated like a king.
Look at this clown.
And at the same
He wants to be king. He's going to be celebrated like a king. He's never going to leave the White House. He's a dictator. He will never leave the White House. It's going to be Trump 2028. Trump Trump 2020 of 32.
At the same time, Trump is trying to rob taxpayers of $230 million
This lie.
to line his pockets. And yet Republicans have zero interest, none, in addressing the healthcare crisis that they've created, is devastating people all across the country.
What a lie, man. People are sick of Democrats and that scum there. And look at this heifer here. Whoopi Goldberg, he ought to just shut the View down, the spew. Whoopi says on the View, Whoopi on the View lies and says that taxpayer dollars will be used to pay for the new White House ballroom. All they do is lie.
This will also be decided. This is the part that really tickles me. It's going to be decided by some of the senators. The question is, are you on board with all of this? This is like a cash grab. Yeah. And you're telling
I can't listen to that, y'all. I just can't, man. I just can't. Look at this clown here.
By the way, I'd be happy to answer the question about whether or not a high-ranking Democrat has used this rhetoric. Who is Kamala Harris?
I know. I want you to answer all the questions. I want you to answer all the questions
for you. Who is Kamala Harris?
Wait. Answer all the questions I just gave you. And can you name me when Kamala Harris said that Donald Trump is Hitler? When did Kamala Harris? Great.
The same Harry Sisson said, no official, no Democrat calls Trump Hitler, and then they replayed. They took his when he said that, and then they played people live on television calling Trump Hitler. They played Jasmine Crockett. I mean, you go down the list of people calling him Hitler. I mean, this Democrat activist is a disgrace. This Harry Sisson fella. This is the guy they had in the AI video that Trump released, and the doo-doo was in the video when he dropped the doo-doo out of the jet in the No King protest.
Was Kamala Harris last year a high-ranking Democrat when she was?
When did Kamala Harris call Donald Trump Hitler?
October of 2024. Kamala Harris said on the campaign trail, Donald Trump vowed to be a dictator on day one. His former chief of staff said he wanted generals like Hitler's. Donald Trump openly admires dictators, including Adolf Hitler. Last October, that was said on the campaign trail from the Democrat.
So Kamala Harris said this during the campaign, during the closing days of the campaign. It was her final campaign pitch. Is that high enough ranking for you? You guys you supported her for president.
Exactly, because there have been reports
that person
that Donald
that you
Trump
supported for president is someone
just relax,
who was campaigning by calling Trump Hitler.
Jack,
you're so disingenuous when you bring this stuff up. You can't even acknowledge the fact that your own candidate was on the campaign. She's got a video about it. It's on her Facebook, or it's on her Twitter page.
Let me offer one here, which is Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton literally compared Trump's rally in Ohio last week to Nazi leader Adolf Hitler's speeches. Speaking of the Texas Tribune Festival in Austin, she made reference to Hitler's speeches, which saw people raise their right arms in the air in the Nazi salute. I remember as a young student, trying to figure out how people basically got bought in by Hitler, she said. How did that happen? I'd watch newsreels and I'd see this guy standing there ranting and raving and so on. It happens all the time.
You just can't make it up, man. Hillary says it's not his house, it's your house, and he's destroying it. The White House, Trump doing the renovations, remodeling that thing, adding things. But Donald Trump Jr. says the woman that literally had to return the furniture and silverware that she stole from the White House on the way out. Hey, Crooker, you may want to sit this one out. And y'all know they were saying some inappropriate things to her about Bill. Yeah, it didn't play out well from old Hillary. Yeah. Says the ballroom was spectacular, unlike your work in Haiti. Oh boy. You just can't make this up. Look at this, y'all. Look.
I don't think anybody in this debate can name me a high-ranking elected Democrat who has called Donald Trump Hitler.
I don't even know what to call him. I've called him so many things, but this wannabe Hitler for sure.
You just can't make it up, man. All they do is lie, and this is why they run everybody out the Democrat Party. We have the Democrat shutdown going on right now. Trump is not effing around. Marco Rubio just gave the perfect response to people who are worried about Trump blowing up narco terrorists. Says these are drug boats. If people want to stop seeing drug boats blown up, stop sending drugs to the United States.
Yeah, well, I mean, the question is, bottom line, these are drug boats. If people want to stop seeing drug boats blow up, stop sending drugs to the United States.
But does it matter if it's in the United States?
Well, these are all in international waters. The boat.
Do a strike in the United States, or if
well, that's a different matter. Now you're talking about a law enforcement matter. In this particular case, there are people traveling on international waters headed towards the United States with hostilities in mind, which includes flooding our country with dangerous, deadly drugs. And they're going to be stopped. And that's what's happening. And in the case last week, you saw there was a submarine. It was a submarine. It was a submersible. That's a drug boat all the way through. We know what these boats are. The president just said it. We track them from the very beginning. We know who's on them, who they are, where they're coming from, what they have on them. If you're running drug boats, you're in grave danger.
Yes, indeed. Marco Rubio. This administration isn't effing around. F around and find out.
Coming in, they killed 300 security problems.
It says, can you hear Rand Paul crying yet? Trump is ready to launch military strikes on cartels entering the U.S. by land, not just Caribbean operations. Oh, boy.
They killed 300,000 people last year. Drugs. These drugs coming in. They killed 300,000 Americans last year, and that gives you legal authority. We have a national security. Really, I will say this. When you look at the people we're dealing with, and we know them. We know the people coming in. We know the boats. We know everything else. We're allowed to do it. It's in international waters. If we don't do it, we're going to lose hundreds of thousands of people. Now, they'll be coming in by land a little bit more because they're not coming in by boat anymore. There are no boats in the water. There are no more boats. We know the boat almost immediately. You know, it's pretty unusual when you see somebody with a fishing rod and 5 engines on the back of the boat. You know, you don't need that to go fishing. Wait. And we will hit them very hard when they come in by land. And they haven't experienced that yet, but now we're totally prepared to do that.
Oh, boy. Oh, Donald, man. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments section, man. Yes, indeed. What is this? Breaking. The Trump administration is ending immigration judges being allowed to release illegals back into America permanently. Oh, boy.
Cheryl, it was a quiet decision released last month that could impact millions of people in the country. A change to how immigration laws are enforced could mean anyone arrested will remain detained until they are deported. But some attorneys are now pushing back. This week, the federal government said in court that since July, more than 1,800 people have been arrested in the Chicago area. But having their day in court is not a guarantee. The immigration court is convoluted. It does not fall under the judicial branch. It falls under the executive branch. Separate from criminal court, a person's rights are much more limited. ABC 7 chief legal analyst Gil Sofer.
The proceedings in an immigration court, they're not criminal, they're civil. The question isn't whether someone has committed a crime. The question is whether they can be deported. And the rights are different.
Now, a new immigration court directive could keep people detained much longer before they're deported. In September, the Board of Immigration Appeals, the top administrative body which interprets and applies immigration laws, released a new decision. For the first time in American history, the court ruled immigration judges can no longer grant bond for undocumented immigrants who enter the U.S. without authorization, all but guaranteeing mandatory detention for those detained.
It is a monumental decision. It's a change in approach for sure.
DHS calling the ruling, quote, a big win for our ICE attorneys, securing our ability to detain illegal aliens until they are deported. But immigration advocates and attorneys say it's a total sea change.
It overturned decades of case law, of regulations and laws.
Judge Payton is a former assistant chief immigration judge who was fired by the Trump administration this past July. She says without cause. Now she's in private practice and says undocumented people seeking a bond hearing have to hire an attorney like her to file petitions in federal court.
These are not judges. We covered all this already. These are not judges.
Outside of immigration.
The hell with the judge. So a lot of these judges need to be walked out. Walk them out. Walk the judges out. The judges are the enemy of the people.
court to try to get relief.
Demanding that the federal courts review the decision of the immigration court and tell them that they're wrong and they should hold a bond hearing.
It's all very dehumanizing.
Tonight at 10 p.m., the I-Team looks at one family challenging this new court directive, all to release their father.
The moment they put him in a van, we didn't know where he was going.
Now, the ACLU has sued the Trump administration over its no-bond policy from being enforced. A hearing in that case is scheduled a week from today.
All because these immigration courts are under the executive, not the judicial branch of government.
Absolutely different set of rules, different set of evidence, and different rights for the people coming before the judge. Of course, you're going to hear much more from Judge Payton tonight.
Boy, oh boy, man. I tell you. Big things are happening. Big things are happening under President Trump's administration. And a lot of big wins that they just can't deny. Promises made, promises kept. The man told you what he was going to do. He ran on it. He campaigned on it. And hey, here we are. You know, we're not going to always agree on everything and like everything. We're going to love this, love that. We're going to hate this, hate that. Who knows? President Trump is your 47th president. And it's what a time to be alive. Y'all let me know what y'all think of all this. I love y'all. God bless you all and your family. And I will catch y'all in the next one on today's show. Peace and love, you guys.